You talked a lot about this entry level and that it's entry level, not only how they communicate, but it's a entry level pay too. Yet we're trying to treat them, bring them into a culture, make them feel special. What are the kind of things that you do over and above pay when it's an entry level position to make them feel like they're a big part of the team and an important part of that team?
I brought a lot of skills from police and fire dispatching, and I'll probably always go back to that because I learned a lot there. One of the things that I will encourage people to do, you are talking about entry level, and your hands do get tied on certain things that you can actually do, especially if you have temporary employees. But one of the things that you need to think about is if I'm going to throw them a party to maybe celebrate them or encourage them, what does this party look like? Have I actually put thought and emotion into it so they understand that what I'm doing for them is because I'm bringing it to them because I'm proud of them? Or is it just because I'm ticking a box? One of the things that I have thought through on that, especially when I worked at Postmates, is we had 3 shifts. So you had your morning, noon, and midnight shifts. And a lot of times, and you'll see memes and other things about it, the midnight people come in, they're all excited because we've all talked about this party we're going to have, and they open up the box and there's crumbs in the box. And they're like, what the heck? What I learned is that you really need to think through when you celebrate employees. You need to make sure that everybody gets celebrated the same and that you're really being intentional in those kinds of things. Not only that, but you need to celebrate the small wins, the things that perhaps don't normally get called out, so that they understand they're doing a good job. You find a lot of employee motivation on that. Also, sitting with your employees, there's a lot that has to be said about that. You will be able to listen to them in real time and coach them in real time because you're going to hear all the small minutia that you might not hear or even see if you're able to sit with them. A lot of times, what I found when we were in call centers and we were actually in a building, I would go and do my shadowing with my employees. I'd be sitting there, and you could just see in their face that they were either confused with the information that they were about to give or that they were uncomfortable with what they were talking about. And I would make sure that I would just encourage them through that. And then once we would get off the phone, we do a deep dive into that conversation so we could talk about how we could have changed it. I liked having that kind of personal one-on-one time. Do not negate your one-on-one time with your employees. And if you are a manager of leads, so you've got so many different hierarchies, encourage your team leads to go and do things like this. And then sit together with your team leads and talk through, how did that go? What could we change? What holistically do you think that we can do? But I will tell you, one of the biggest proponents is listen to your people. They are doing this job every single day. And as a manager, you're not. And if you are not listening and you are not taking some sort of action to listen, even if you remind them, thank you for your 100 suggestions. Out of your 100 suggestions, maybe only 2 or 3 will get done. But let's prioritize those and figure out which would be those either easy hanging fruits we can take care of or the ones that we can actually get done. But listening to them so that they know that they can be heard, it goes a long way in building that trust and communication with your employees. And I am very into that. I love to be on the floor. I love to be able to feel the vibe, feel everything that's going on so that I know at what point my employees are actually really struggling. So I can step in at those times and say, what can I do to assist you?